And I could start on another hobby horse there, because I'm not sounding like my mother now. People of my generation, we learned to sew at school. It's not being passed on. And where are the skills of sewing being passed on? It's here in groups like the Octagon Quilters. Through their outreach through schools, through community groups, to different age groups throughout the community, they're handing on the skills of both hand sewing and machine sewing, and just even the idea that you don't have to go to a shop to buy it. You can make it. And not alone can you make it, but you can make something wonderful and beautiful and uplifting. And I think it was Madeline, who was a member of the Quilters, long ago said, we are all artists, we are all creators, because before you put a piece of fabric on the table or a rotary cutter in your hand, there was nothing. But when you've finished, something new has been born. It might be just an owl quilt to throw over the bed. There's an insult, an owl quilt to throw over the bed. You know? Oh, that owl thing. You know, my first hobby horse was the fact that sewing skills aren't being passed on to our young people, and which is why groups like this are important for making sure they are handed on. My second hobby horse is, sure, I only. But it's just. Yeah, years. It's never just, it's never, sure, I only. Before you started, there was nothing. When you finished, there is something. And, you know, sometimes I come across a bit of snobbery about, well, it's only craft. It's not. Because if you're to make a quilt, even if you're following somebody else's design or pattern, you have to make the aesthetic call about, well, I don't really like that colour, I think I prefer this. Or I don't think that colour goes well there, I'm going to use this one. So all the time you're creating, and you're making something new, something beautiful. The other thing that's, I think, third hobby horse, because women mostly do it, it's not that important. You know? And Eva Fahey, very interesting, spoke to the Irish Patrick Society in Galway back in April, I think, and she was talking about how hard it is to get examples of women's quilts, quilting work over the years, because it was only that old thing that was thrown in the bin. You know, and do away with it, or worn out, and no records kept. And even to the extent of the quilting frames. She said at one stage every house in Ireland would have had a quilting frame, because you took it down to make the quilts from the blankets, from the coats, and it went back up again. But they were cut up. Oh, that old thing was thrown away. So what we're doing here, what the Octagon Quilters are doing here, is valuable, it's important, it's great it's been recorded, it's great there are photographs, it will be archives. But overall in that, aren't they gorgeous? And that's it. You know, you come in, and okay, you might have your preferences because you don't like that style. And here again, even on style, we have every kind of style represented. We've got modern stuff using modern fabrics, we've modern techniques, we've got lovely handpiece quilts that the windows with the photo Japanese inside. The range of colours and fabrics that are used. Mary Brady's hexagons upstairs, they're all hand appliqué on. The hand quilting in Mary Martin's there. Bernie's here, like Bing, a great example of traditional blocks, sample quilts, and then beside it with the modernity of skyscrapers. Is this skyscrapers? No, that's not. This is skyscrapers. This is modernity. So there's in it a taste for everybody, and I think that's the other great thing about patchwork and quilting. Whatever your own skill level is, your own interest is, you can find some way of expressing the artist within you. And I'm absolutely delighted to see such a range. And can I say upstairs too, the small A3 size quilts are lovely, because they were a particular challenge to make something that's in it. And one of them, Jean's, I think, you know that Jean is an artist because you can see she's a painterly quilter. She quilts as if she was painting, you know. And I think that's lots of what I want to say about it. I think it's what I mainly want to congratulate you on such a wonderful quilt. I hope people come to see it. We're in a great spot here at the Customs House, lots of visitors to Westport, and to get the word out there. So I'll officially open it, and I'm going to quote another great dub, who my mother and father, by the way I should say, my mother always said if you can read you can do brain surgery. And my sister is a case in point, she cannot sew. But one Easter she came down to me with a table runner. And I said, how did you let it? Well, she said, I just Googled it and I read the instructions outlined, but I didn't know how to do this bit. And I said, that's where you need the hand to hand. You know, that's where you need the person sitting beside you showing you, do it this way. And then when you know how to do it this way, you'll know forever, and you'll also know how to break rules a little bit and do it your own way. So all of that is here. It's the hand-to-hand people. The beginners have picked up their skills. Am I right there, Marie? Yes, all the people whose first quills are up. Learn from the others. And then the experts love passing it on. And then in turn, they'll pass it on. And that's what I'm hoping you'll do. Maureen Potter said, if you liked the show, well, tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, keep your breath to cool your porridge. Good word.
This is where I want to thank you and Marie for so graciously. We thought it was like you.
Oh, true good job.